Hi, and welcome to another installment of Dream Girl Trucking. And I just want to remind you again, as you probably know if you've seen my videos before, Dream Girl Trucking does not necessarily apply just to women. It's for anybody who has a dream and they are working it. So, that being said, I know everybody's waiting to hear how I'm doing at Crete. Well, could be better, but I seem to just be having a run of bad luck right now. Actually, ever since I left John Christner, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have to go back to John Christner, or that I need to, or that the universe is against me, or whatever it is. So I'm not worried about it, but I'll explain to you what's going on. It sounds really bad, I think. So I get here and to Crete, and I go through orientation, and I realize I do need to go on back home and get my stuff. So I go back home, get my stuff, get my first load out. Now I've got allergies. Anyway, so I'm a first load out. They sent me a short one, Texas to Texas, and then I was supposed to pick up a loaded trailer in Texas, still the first day, and bring it to California, which is where I'm at right now. So I did the first one, and I picked up the second one. Well, it had, on that trailer, it had 3 out of 4 of the, I guess they're the brake, I don't know, I want to say, they're not rotors, I think rotors are flat. They're those pads that go around they're like round, and they have a Y on them, and if the V part of the Y is gone, then you need new brakes. Well, 2 of them, the V part of the Y was gone, and one of them, the whole thing was like thin, like onion paper. And then I checked the inspection on the trailer, and it was 2 months out of date. So it was dated for January of 2021 or something like that. So I called breakdown, and also at that time my check engine light came on my truck. So breakdown told me to go and get it fixed the next morning, because I was out there by Muleshoe, Texas, so there's nothing there, but 40 wasn't that far away. But it was late in the day. So I went ahead and spent the night at the Loves. I read them the codes for my check engine light, and it's supposed to be, I don't know, fuel after treatment, or maybe DEF. Whatever, nobody can fix it. It's got to go to a dealership or one of the Crete yards to get fixed. So I go to the Loves the next morning, and I still wind up sitting there all day long waiting for them to get me in. They did fix my brakes. They did do the DOT inspection. I still had 2.5 hours, so I'm like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I can't just sit. So I went and burned up the rest of my hours, and the next day I was backing into a parking spot on my break, and the sun was in my eyes. It was like mid-morning. It wasn't even time for a break yet, but I had to take a break, if you know what I mean. And backing in, the sun was in my eyes. I went a little bit too far. Boop, hit the curb, ripped off a mud flap. I'm thinking, oh, great. So I take it over to the shop, and the shop guy is like, oh, wow, look at that, a bald tire. Well, I just had a DOT inspection at Love's. And so, and I guess I overlooked that tire. I have a 1,000 lumen flashlight I use even during the day, and I guess I just didn't look close enough. That tire was probably on the inside back there, and then when they took the wheels off to do the brakes, it was on the outside. All 3 of the Love's employees saw it, including the one who did the inspection, but nobody said anything about it, so, which was really weird. And I'm not saying that they took my good tire and gave me a bad one, but that one was bald. I mean, bald. It had a little bit of tread in places, but you could tell it had been dragged several times, because in some spots it was completely no tread. And the other treads on all the other tires on the trailer were fine. So anyway, I get that fixed. There's, another couple hours, and finally get down to where I'm supposed to spend the night. Now, Crete gives you a route, and they tell you where to fuel and how much fuel to buy at a time, and that is for their IFTA taxes. That's the reason that they do that. And I thought, ew, that's so micromanaging, but it's really not that bad. I don't understand their how they do their routes. You see them and it's like written in Chinese or something. But if you put your starting point and your ending point and the places where you're supposed to fuel, your Garmin will pretty much match you to where you're supposed to be. So it's no big deal. They don't want you using toll roads. If you use a toll road and you're not routed to use the toll road, they won't reimburse you. That's only fair. So I get here and I made it to my California delivery point early, and so I unloaded, and I wasn't supposed to load again potato chips for Frito-Lay until this evening, and that was going to put me out of hours because I started too early, and I didn't think I could go in there early. I called them, and they said, no, you can't come early. So I told the dispatcher, and she was not able to really get back to me. So I just sit here all night long, ran out of hours, and today they couldn't get me in until, again, 6:30 tonight. So that's another day that I'm sitting. And once they do get me in, and I have to take this load because it goes to Utah, and Utah's where the closest Crete yard is. So I'm going to have to go to Utah and put my truck in the shop. So that's a day lost for getting the inspection and the brakes, a day lost for getting here early and running out of hours, some hours lost for the tire because a mud flap would have been really quick, and then did I already say, yeah, day lost for getting here early, and then I'll have to go to the shop, and I don't know how many days I'm going to lose for that. So it's just a lot of bad luck, but it is what it is. And I'm not saying that Crete's bad. They're paying me really good, and that's another thing, because of John Christner, and they use TransFlow, and Crete uses TransFlow, and I could not get Crete's code in there until I got John Christner's out. But Crete, no one at Crete knew their code, so I had to get with TransFlow, and then that was a 2-day ordeal because you can't actually tell them what's the matter. You just have to put like the subject. So they send me this email, your issue is resolved. And so I go back in there, and on the subject line I write, how can my issue be resolved? And I didn't even tell you what it was. So then I got their attention. They fixed it. But the next problem is that I'm still in there as a non-driver. So I have paperwork to submit, cannot upload them. Then I found out from my friend who referred me here that I can go to any truck stop and use the, upload them there. So I could do that. But while I'm just sitting here today, I went ahead, called Crete, and they got that straightened out for me too. So I'm going to upload my paperwork when I get through doing this. And as far as the truck goes, it's the same thing I had at John Christner, so it's easy. I already know where everything goes. I put these cool hooks up, and I put my lights up, and got everything put away. I put my CB in, and still not through. Have some more little things to do, but I'm getting it done. I can't say, how much my average pay is going to be. I haven't looked over the benefits packet that they gave me yet, and so all I know is that they seem fair. They give us this great big huge padlock for the back of the trailer, and they make us pay for it, but they don't take it out right away. I think they take it out after 60 days. They take it out of your check in parts, and but the thing is that when you quit, you turn that in, you get the money back. And that's only fair because, this stuff is expensive, and you don't just hand it out to drivers because if they don't have any financial stake in it, they're not going to be careful with it. Oh, I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I'm going to keep this, whatever. So I could totally understand that. Same way with load locks and straps that they give you. They give you 2 straps, and somebody told me the 2 straps they gave me, they're right there in a bag. I use my own. That way when I get ready to leave Crete, there are their straps. So they give you a mentor who's really nice, another driver. You call them with any questions that you have, and they help you with all kinds of things. So that's really good. A real mentor, not like at John Christner, where they are probably sleeping while you're driving. I've called my mentor 3 times, and he's answered the phone all 3 times. Super nice guy. Very knowledgeable, very helpful. And then, of course, I have Lisa, who referred me over here, and then my 2 friends, Pick and Jeremy, who referred me to Lisa, and they all have worked over here for years, so I have plenty of encouragement for staying in here and just sticking it out and sticking with it, and I believe all of them. And even my mentor guy, he said, he's got mad and quit a couple times, but he's come back. So people realize, I think there were 2 people in orientation who had quit and come back, and that was just with me. That wasn't on the lease purchase or the owner operator side, but people realize they have to make a lot more money, or they have to drive a lot more miles elsewhere in order to make the money that they made here. And again, this place is not bad. Also, I do have a driver facing camera, which I have never had before, and I always said, oh no, I'm not going to do that. Well, I have so many safety tickets that I'm sure that's why they made me have that, and they made me stay in orientation an extra day to take the Smith driving course safety class that they had, which was otherwise would have been optional, but you get points. And the way that it works here is that you get points for attending safety classes and taking safety things or learning whatever online. There's different ways, many different ways that you can earn points. And when you get if you get an inspection and there's something wrong, well, that takes off on your points. I think my mud flap issue would take off on my points, but if you have enough positive points, that will outweigh your negative points. So that's a good thing about Crete. I think they're really, really fair. And somebody said in 2 months they'll take your driver camera out or they'll fire you because you're not a good driver. The recruiter told me that in 2 months I could request to have the driver facing camera taken out. But then after that was when I heard, oh no, they will take it out. They don't have enough cameras for the whole fleet. All the trucks do not have them in here. And so I've taken to actually talking to it like it's a co-driver. And giving it my opinion of whatever if I hear something on the news, I'll just tell it what I think. So it hasn't been bad. It's kind of creepy, but it's temporary, and I think it's going to be worth it. Nothing here is too bad, so everything seems to be okay, and they seem to be real fair. And I'm very much everybody has assured me that if one of the dispatchers or anybody in the shop talks to me rude or hateful without me bringing it on, and doing it first, that I just get their name and they won't be working here anymore. And in fact, everybody that I've met who works here is super, super nice, very polite, respectful, professional. I cannot say enough good things at this point about everybody that I have come in contact with so far. They do have the Opti Idle here. That really sucks, but unlike when I was working at PGT and everybody had to sleep in the nude because their Opti Idle just didn't keep you cool enough. That's not the case here. I sleep in my pajamas and with my covers on, and I have not had a problem with the air conditioner not keeping me cool. So that hasn't been bad. It comes with the power inverter and the refrigerator. I got my microwave up there. Like I said, everything is basically the same inside as JCT. Oh, except there's no passenger side box. You have to pick the bed up. And there's 2/3 of the bed is storage underneath there. So that's where I got my spare bottled water, my spare Cokes and, stuff like that. I'm sorry, from Texas. If it's a soda, if it's a Dr. Pepper, an Orange Crush, it's a Coke. So that's where I keep my Cokes and my water. And my friend Julie, she gives me these little bags, for homeless people. And she stocked me up on 3 of those. And when I find homeless people, I'm supposed to just give them to them. They've got like toilet paper and, some food that you can just put in a microwave somewhere. And I don't know, usually a little Bible tract, and homeless people don't seem to mind me saying to them, are you homeless? And they'll say, yeah, so I'll be like, oh, wait right here. My friend Julie, she absolutely insists. And Julie is so precious, and she's homebound because she was hurt at work, and it's been a long time, and they're just giving her the runaround, so she doesn't get to do much of anything, and that's her way of blessing people. So, I'll take the bags, and I'll give them out for her, and, and I love the Lord. So, like I was going to say about all this stuff that seems like it's really bad, You know, it's really not. This too shall pass. Um, Life is how you take it, and for me, Jesus carries all my burdens, not me. So, you know, all these things that are happening to me, couldn't upload and not getting any miles and, you know, whatever else, those are not my problems. Those are Jesus's problems. I'd be like, Jesus, you got a problem. Jesus, you got a problem. He's like, give it to me. I want it. I want it. You know, so that's cool. I'm not worried about it. I got a good attitude. And, you know, I'm happy here. And I'll just keep you guys posted and let y'all know how it goes. When I start getting my settlements, I'll let you know what I'm getting, let you know how many miles I'm getting, because they told us in orientation, Crete has more miles than you can legally drive. But I'm going to try. Everybody have a great day, and Team Johnny Depp. Bye, y'all.